Beautiful. Thank you, Jason. Whenever it's his time to sing, he always sends me a message. And, PJ, what are you going to be talking about? Because I really want to find the right song. And so I try to give him the actual message I'm going to be speaking so that he can do that. And he does a beautiful job every time. So thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for the work you put in. So you already know who we are. You've done a great job with that. Thank you so much, Carla. Appreciate you. So what we're doing here today, last week we talked about keeping your eye on the prize. And this was about, looking and focusing on what you want and not what you don't want. So worry is prayer in the negative. So worrying just simply does that. It brings into existence the thing you don't want. And so we just want to be consciously aware of what we're thinking and what we're drawing in to our lives. And so that's what keeping your eye on what you really desire. Because that's what we are. When we think, I was listening to a tape from Mary Madden Morrissey. Actually, she's going by Mary Morrissey now. And she says, and we know this already, that everything is born or made twice. Once in the mind, and then once in the physical presence. So whatever's going on in your mind, you are bringing into your physical presence. And so that's why it's critical that we understand that in so many things. Today, it is the love month of February, which I love. It's also Black History Month. And so I wanted to bring something about love by a Black history leader, which, MLK. So I'm bringing Martin Luther King's 5 love lessons, 5 lessons in love. That's what we're going to talk about today. I'm not going to expound on all of them because we'll be here till this afternoon. So I'm just going to briefly touch on a couple and then expound on a couple. So this one is the first point, and we know this already, is that darkness cannot drive out the light. It cannot. It cannot drive out darkness. It cannot. Darkness does not drive out darkness. Whatever you are dealing with, what you are dealing with will not drive out what you're dealing with. Okay? Only light brings out darkness. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love does that. So whatever it is you want to let go of, you must do the opposite of that. Do the opposite of that. That's not what he says, what I'm saying. Because it makes sense to me, right? If darkness cannot, so you cannot meet a problem on the level that it was created, on the level that it exists. We can't meet a problem there. It won't do anything. You have to reach beyond or higher than the problem itself. So many times we do the opposite. And so this is what his first point was. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. And hate cannot drive out hate. Only love. I keep rocking with this thing. All right. All right. The second point that he wants to make is love. Love is the only force capable of transformation. Love is the only force capable of transformation, transforming an enemy into a friend. We were born with love and innocence in our hearts. We forget why we were created. Why we were created and our purpose for being here. It is to do all things in love. So I'm reading a book right now by Thich Nhat Hanh, and it's called The 4 Aspects of Love. The 4 aspects of love: loving kindness. We know what they are, but I'm just going to repeat them here. Loving kindness, compassion, joy, one of my favorite words, and freedom. But he goes on to say it's not about just having those things. Loving kindness is great. It's the ability. It is the ability to bring joy and happiness and not suffering. That's what loving kindness is. The ability to bring joy and happiness and not suffering. Compassion is the ability to ease the pain of another. You have to have the ability to ease the pain of another. Joy, which is the fullness of your heart, knowing that you are the beloved of God. Can you imagine? If you woke up every single morning, if we all woke up every single morning knowing who we were, how much our hearts would be filled with joy, knowing that we are loved by God. We are the beloved. And so that's what joy is. You are the light of the world. And whoever you're in the presence of, you are in the presence of love. No matter how they're showing up. We were driving down whatever that street is. What street did we get off on? Is it Green Oaks? We were driving off on Green Oaks, and we chit-chat all the way. We're just chit-chatting about all kinds of stuff, just driving and chit-chatting, driving and chit-chatting. I noticed a big old truck in my mirror, but I wasn't paying much attention because the road was empty. We get here about 8:30. So the road was empty, so I'm just driving. All of a sudden, he just drove all around me. It was clear, and both he and I looked at ourselves and went, well, he seems to be a bit upset. Don't know what that was about. Doesn't make any difference. Just send him some love and go on down the road. Don't know what's going on. But whatever that was doing, whatever that feeling he was having, didn't change anything, did it? It didn't change anything. I'm still going to be who I am. You're still going to be who you are. We're still going to decide. We have the ability to decide how we're going to show up. I hear people saying, oh, I can't help it, I'm this way. Yeah, you can. No. You can help it. Because why? And maybe you have to work on it. I'm not saying it might be easy, but this is what we talk about. We have the power to decide who we're going to be and how we're going to show up. I'm not saying there's not work to do it. Sometimes I'm sick of working. I'm sick of it. I just like to rest one day. But I wake up and I know where I want to go and who I want to be and how I want to see everyone in this world as individualized expressions of God. And if someone is showing up in my mirror trying to run me off the road, that's a little bit harder to do. It has to be a decision, right? It has to be a decision. So I'm going to send you some love and send you on down the road because obviously the morning isn't going well for you. Whatever's going on, the morning isn't going well for you. It's going great for me, though. I'm enjoying my ride. I'm coming to a beautiful place. I'm coming to see all of you, right? So I can afford to send some love. So what King is saying is that not only is it all of those things that we have to have loving kindness and compassion, joy and freedom, it's the ability to have it. It's the ability to share it. It's the ability to show it, right? It isn't just about, oh, yeah, I'm peaceful. It's not about that, okay? We have to be in the world. Freedom, what is freedom actually? Freedom is bringing freedom to the person you love. Freedom is bringing freedom, having the ability to bring freedom to the person you love. Do you know what that means? That means you're going to love them no matter how they show up. That you're not going to keep trying to change them and love them when they become this person, or when they become that person, or when they show up like this, or show up like that. You're loving them exactly the way that they are. That is allowing them to have the freedom to be. You love them anyway. You love them anyway. I was talking to a mother the other day about her daughter, her grown daughter, and relationships that they have. And apparently, the daughter is married to a wonderful person who, no matter how the daughter shows up, angry or whatever she shows up at, the husband always sees the greatness in her. He just always sees the greatness, always, only addresses that. You are so beautiful today. Whatever it is, he just shows her that. That is the person who understands freedom. Freedom to love. He loves this person. He doesn't expect her or ask her to be anything different than what she is. Can we do that? That's difficult. Think about that. We're always trying to tell our loved ones, but the closer you get to somebody, the more you think you know how to tell them how to live, right? We do. Oh, if you would just, show up like you are, and if you would just love me, if you had the freedom to love someone exactly how they are. Here's the thing that I know. You can't do that unless you have that. Do you understand that? Are you free to be who you are? Because if you're not, then you're not able to show that freedom to someone else. You have to, so everything that I'm talking about right now today, I'm talking about doing it for yourself first. You don't need to go out and look to do it to someone else or with someone else. Do it with yourself first. You will become that, all right? When you are free with yourself, when you are joyful with yourself, when you are compassionate with yourself, when you're all of these things with yourself, that becomes who you are. And it's just an automatic, natural expression of who you are to show it to someone else. Do you get that? That's why he keeps talking about you have to have the ability to do it first. You can't give what you don't have. Can't do it. So that's we talk about that all the time. We say that you can't give what you don't have, but this is true. How can you? I know that I wouldn't follow someone who wasn't doing the things that they talked about doing. I don't follow it. I won't go to a teacher who's trying to teach me something they don't know anything about. If they're simply reading about it, I could do that. They have to be experienced with it, and you know that when they show up as that. You know they have experience. Oh, they know what they're talking about. They're walking that walk. That's what walking the walk looks like. Walking the walk looks like. And we're not perfect, so I'm not saying that we're going to show up the way we want to show up every time in every situation. What I do want us to do, what I do believe we can do, is catch and notice when we are not showing up as who we say we're going to be. That's all we got to do, is catch it and say, oops, that's not what I'm not claiming that. I'm not claiming that for my life. King's X. Doing do-overs. Do it over. I'm going to do it again. We have many opportunities to love, many opportunities to be compassionate, many opportunities. We don't have to shame ourselves or to feel bad about it. We just want to be awake to it and catch it. That's not who I am. That's not what I want to be. His third point. So the first point was darkness cannot drive out darkness, and light cannot drive out hate cannot drive out hate. The second point was love is the only force capable of transforming an enemy into a friend. The third point is let go of hate. Be and see love, starting with yourselves. Life's most persistent and urgent question. That was the end of point 2. Life's most persistent question, point 3. What are you doing for others? What are you doing for others in the name of service without expectation? What are you doing for others in the name of service without expectation? I know when I look around this group, and I know there's so many people that serve, and I'm going to say an added point about serving. We serve with an open heart. And what we do, what I think, what I believe, what I know works for me, is to serve in a way that brings me joy. So I serve in things that mean something to me, that matter to me, that I have experience with, that I have lived experience with. So that's where I do my service. Serving women or serving someone who doesn't know who they are right now, because I've been there. I've been in a place where I have not known or accepted who I am. And so I love working with those kinds of people. That's what we do. So that's a service for me, and it brings me joy. The other thing that I want to say to you is that you don't have to serve because you think that's what you should be doing, right? Because there are many opportunities to serve. And some things speak to you and some things don't. Everything doesn't have to speak to you. There's a million people, a bazillion people on this planet, and everyone gets to serve. So you don't have to serve in a niche that doesn't appeal to you, nor do you have to serve anywhere where you're getting abused for the service. You don't have to do that. So you get to take care of yourself as well. If you're serving and no one's appreciative, and you're not doing it because they are appreciative, but here's what Jesus said: why are you throwing your pearls before swine? If they can't get it or they can't understand it, why are you there? Why are you there? Because again, it should bring you joy. There's no expectation that they're going to love you or anything like it, but it brings your heart joy. And if it's not, why are you doing it? What's going on? What's going on? So the most persistent and urgent question, that's number 3, that we have is who are you serving? What are you doing for service without expectation of anything in return? I was talking with my sister the other day. She was upset with herself for being upset about this. Right? You're just upset with yourself, because I shouldn't be upset, but I am. And because she was doing great things for someone in the family. Family is one of the hardest things to deal with, because they're family, and you're trying to. I really believe that family is here to teach us things, because they're not easy to walk away from, right? And if it was somebody that wasn't in your family, you just walk on away and say, why am I even bothering with that? But because they're family, you keep giving them chances and whatnot. Anyway, she was doing something wonderful and been doing something wonderful for this couple that's in our family. And she's been doing it for a long time with these two. And then they turned around and gifted the same thing that she gave to them, but on a bigger scale, gifted it to a complete and total stranger to them. Didn't even think that she might enjoy it, that it was something that she is right in her bailiwick, what she does all the time, and it was at a huge place where she's going to learn a whole lot of things. But they gifted it to a stranger and didn't even think to gift it to her. And it was gifted to them, by the way. It wasn't going to come out of their pocket. And so she was upset about that. And I said, well, of course you're upset, because you've done a lot of things, thinking about them all the time. Her mind is on them all the time, trying to help them do good, step up, give them work. And whenever she asks them to do work, she makes sure that it's not going to cost them to do anything. Make sure they have gas, make sure they have a hotel to stay in, make sure that they're getting paid for the job they're doing. All of this with never any thanks, and she's okay with that. But this particular thing bothered her. And I said, of course it does. You're not doing anything for them to do something for you. That's not. But what you see now is that it's not appreciated. It's not appreciated. That's what you're seeing. And so you have a thought about that. We can talk about it. I see you have a thought. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. What I'm saying doesn't necessarily resonate with you. I'm saying this is what was going on for her. Is she wasn't being appreciated. So again, why will you serve when you're not being appreciated? When you're throwing your pearls before swine and they're just stepping all over it. Why do you need to be in the middle of that? There are a million people that could use what you're doing. Why do you need to give it to people who don't appreciate it or don't care for it? Why? Who says that? Who says that that's what love looks like? You don't have to take yourself out of the middle of a circle of love. If you're giving love, you should be receiving love. Do you get that? If you're giving love, you should be receiving love. There's no shame in that. If you're not receiving love, why are you still there? Even in any relationship, whether it's with your family, with your spouse, with friends, with whatever. If you are giving love and you are not receiving love, my question to you is, why are you there? Why are you there? Why do you feel like that's okay? Because it's not. It's not okay. And it's okay for you to step away. You don't have to say anything. You have to make a big deal. Just remove yourself from that situation. I don't have to be there. I'm going to go someplace where I am, it's mutual. And I am being loved as much as I am loving. The Spirit's not asking us to love people who then abuse us. The Spirit is saying, love everyone. See the truth in them. And if they're abusive, step away. Love them from afar. I'm a good fan of loving people from afar. So it does. Okay. I see a lot of questions. You guys are welcome to to visit us over here and ask your questions and make your comments. I enjoy that. I really do. The fourth thing is decide to love. I said that earlier. It's a decision. Everything we do is a decision. Everything you do is a decision. Don't think it's not. Don't think that you're here because you don't want to be. Or you're wherever you are, you decided to be there. And you can decide not to be there. You can decide to take something on, and you can decide to let it go. Everything we do is a decision. It's a decision. Okay? Unconditional love is a decision, just as hate and discord is a decision. Decide on joy. That's the name of our podcast, and that's the reason why. You get to decide that you want to have a joyful life. That's your decision. When you choose to live a life of love, you're choosing a spirit-filled life of passion. These are Martin Luther King's words. Living without love is a troubling, worrisome weight on your soul. It's a weight on your soul to live without love, to live in an environment when you are not being loved. You know this. I'm speaking to the choir. You guys know this. But I'm going to say it out loud so that we all know we're on the same page. Yes. Can we go to the next slide? There it is. There we go. All right. So you guys probably find that hard to read. I'm sorry. But I do have copies of that in the back. And the reason why I wanted to bring this up, because I'm talking about love a lot. We're talking about the lessons of love. And love is my thing, and peace is too. This is the map of consciousness. And what it means is, if you look to the left and the right of the map, and where the lines are is where it changes, where it shifts. And this is the energy that you have. This is the energy that you have, which you draw to you. Courage is the first step up the ladder of having a wonderful, transcendent life. Everything begins with courage. I talk with you guys about this a lot. Below courage, you can see you're angry. You're pride-filled. You have no, what is the word I want to say? This is called, it's a map of consciousness, and it's power versus force. Power versus force. And you become a powerful person in your life at the level of courage and beyond. And he gives it an energetic number of 200 at courage. Love is at 500. So love is where the spiritual paradigms begin. So please take it home and look at and read it later. It's on the back thing there. But love is where the spiritual paradigms in our life begin. Love, then joy, peace, and then enlightenment. That's where we're going. So this map of consciousness tells you when you're in these spaces, when you're angry or fear or desire for something that you're craving, not a desire like what I want to live in my life, but craving something. This is all the things that draw into your life. When I talk about that things are created twice, first in your mind, and secondly in the atmosphere, in the physical world, what we are doing is when we want something that we don't have, we are changing our energy. The energy that we have and the level of energy that we have has to be on the same level of the energy that we want, of the thing we want to bring in. So we're raising our energy by thinking about what we want in a positive way. So that's why I just wanted to show you how the energies work. How as you go up the ladder of energy, you have more and more things in your affirmation, trust, optimism, forgiveness, all of those things makes you a more energetic person, and you draw more of the things you want into your life. Okay? So take a copy of that and just look at it. And if you want to get the book, go ahead. It's called Power versus Force by David Hawkins. It's a great book. A lot of people use it.
There's a website too. You can look at it.
Okay. So is the website on this page? Okay.
But look up Map of Consciousness, David Hawkins. Just
Okay.
search for that.
Okay. All right. So it's a really, really wonderful stuff to know about what's happening when you're in these different places. What's going on in your heart, what's going on with the energy that you're surrounding yourself with. And we know that whatever energy we have is what we're drawing in as well, right? So we can change what's going on in our lives. That's why I wanted you to see that. The final point that the lessons in love is that peace is the prize. Peace is the prize. Absence of hate, war, and conflict is not peace. Absence of something is not that something. Absence of hate is not love. It isn't. Absence of hate, absence of war, absence of conflict. You guys know my friend Kim Andrews. She has something called the Peace Initiative. It's wonderful. Just go on her site. I think she has it listed on her Unity of Saxe website. I think she also has a Peace Initiative website as well. But she talks about this. She thought that just being quiet and not discussing things, because that's what was going on in the life. I can talk about this because it's on her website. I'm not giving any information away that she doesn't share. She thought that the absence of arguing, the absence of talking and discussing things in anger, that meant you were peaceful. But she was still, while she's being quiet, angry. She said this is the thing that woke her up. One morning, her husband, and I don't know if you guys know her husband, Quentin, he's a wonderful guy, very quiet, just low key, just whatever she wants to do, he's all good. And so he just asked her, he said, "Hey, how you doing this morning?" She didn't say this out loud, but in her mind, she goes, "What do you mean, what am I doing? What do you mean, how am I doing? Don't I look like I'm doing good?" All of this is going on in her head. She didn't say it out loud. What do you mean? And then she realized, oh my God, what in the world am I pissed off about? The man just asked me, how am I doing? I'm going to have to investigate this. And that's where she started understanding the peace process. By that thing where her husband was giving her love and she was angry. What's the anger that I'm living with? Because I thought being quiet was peace, and it is not. Peace, again, is a decision. Peace is a decision where you are tranquil, calm, in the name of love. You are easy in your mind. Your heart is at rest. Your heart is at peace. So go back to the truck incident this morning. I could have the guys in you can imagine yourself on the freeway and somebody's on your bumper. And I've talked about this before. And I just looked up and I said, what's happening? Wasn't angry, I really wasn't this time. Let me just say, not perfect this time. Because I knew that something was happening, and one of us said, "What is going on?" I don't know, but there's plenty of room. He's going to go around and be fine, and I hope he has a good day. And I didn't, wave him off and say, "Bless you" in a bad way. I just, right? I didn't. Yeah, I used that. No, but I felt sorry for him. Sorry, not like he said, but just sad because, this is a beautiful day. It's just now getting started. And look what's going on for you. You're already drawing in or trying to draw in, and you will if you keep this up all day, some very negative energy into your life, which I'm sure is not what you want. So it behooves us to investigate our own lives, investigate our own feelings. What is going on with you? When my friend Kim was angry with her husband for saying, "How you doing this morning?" She knew there was a problem, right? She knew it was a problem. And everything in your life begins with you. Do you understand that? Everything in your life begins with you because you get to make decisions about how you want to be. And somebody driving up in my truck, I don't have to allow driving up in a truck and my mirror just right on my bumper. I don't have to respond to that. I don't have to respond to it in a negative way. I don't have to respond to that because I know the truth of me and them. You don't have to respond to things outside of you. Do you understand? That's where peace is. That's what tranquility is. That's what calm is. No one can pull you out of yourself when you know who you are. That's what we're talking about here all the time. Know thyself. It's the most important thing we can do. Because whatever is happening, whatever you respond, whatever's happening in your heart, that's your responsibility. What somebody else is doing is what they're doing. But how you're responding, that's on you. Yep. And we have control over that. We can decide. So peace is the prize. When we are calm and tranquil in the name of love, we will understand. We are more, I have here the tweet. Who's tweet? We will understand we are more alike than different. And we are. Here's what we know. We know that we are individualized expressions of the one love. If that's what you see, that's what you know, that's where peace is for you, and calm, and love. Everything is there with the decision that you make. So what are the action steps? I'm going to give you 5. Normally I give you 3, but I'm going to give you 5, and they're just wrapping up his 5 lessons. That's all. Increase your ability to be the light. You'd be the light. We talked about this before, and I say it kind of in a funny way, but it's true. You can see someone walk into the room, and people's faces light up, or you can see somebody walk into the room, people are turning away, trying to get away before they walk in. You can see it. You can see that that's the energy that they're bringing. Be the light. Increase your ability to be love. In everything that you do and everybody that you see, be love. Just bring love in. Be kind. Be caring. And be peace. That's all we have to do. Those 5 things. Be the light, be love, be kind, be caring, be peace. This isn't a talk about love out there in the world. This is to talk about love in here for yourself. Love yourself first. And then you can love others without condition or expectation. To love somebody without expecting something from them is a huge thing because they can see it. They can feel it. When you love somebody because you want something from them, they feel that too. But when you love them because they just showed up as them, they feel that, and they feel the real love that you're feeling. They don't feel compelled to do anything for you or feel like they're used. They just feel the love. You are the beloved of God. If you know this truth, just wake up every morning knowing who you are the beloved. Then let your heart be filled with joy because you are the beloved every single day. It's not what you do. It's not what you do. It's who you are. Do you understand that? Nothing you do will change that. Nothing you do will change that. I see some doubt in some of your eyes, so let me say it again. Nothing you do will will change the fact that you are the beloved of God. Let me leave you with this final quote. Whether God or somebody else loves you does not make a difference for you. If you are loving, it makes your life so very sweet. Sadhguru, that's who said that. And my final words to you is love yourself enough to know who you truly are. Then you will see who everyone else is. And so it is. I'm available.